the frustration for a lot of Gamecock fans, and especially for a lot of Gamecock alumni. And the thing they didn't want to see was I thought you saw, especially of that 3-game stretch, 159 points given up, was a team that when they got down, I'm hesitant to say they quit, but there was certainly a mood change. And there was certainly, when the team got down, it would seem like they just weren't able to come back from that. And I've seen a lot of former Gamecock players speaking on, again, there's no moral victories. You lost to Mizzou at home, and it sucks. But being proud of the fight that this team showed, because that was something I questioned very much so, was the culture, especially with everything that happened on social media and all the messaging that was coming out there. And I really, truly questioned what the culture was like behind closed doors. I questioned whether this team would even show up to play. I questioned whether they would fight, scratch, and claw for the name on the front of the jersey, not on the back. And especially after being down 17-0 going into halftime, you're thinking, oh my God, this thing could just completely get out of hand. Your defense pitches a shutout in the second half. Again, you inject Luke Doty in and good things happen for you offensively, but you got the ball with a chance to tie the football game. And after the way the game started, especially in the way things have gone this season, again, I know for you probably as a former player, seeing those guys in the midst of all this turmoil go out there and at least, if nothing else, fight for the University of South Carolina. Just talk about that. I'm sure that's something that had to make you, at least if nothing else, make you proud to watch Saturday night.
It did. I mean, just to look, I'm not going to pretend to put myself in their shoes. That's not something, I've never been through a coaching change like that. Somebody that brought me in all of a sudden is gone the next day. And I'm sure, they're 18, 19, 20 years old. I mean, that's a big change for, anybody, especially kind of given the fishbowl that you live in that environment. And it's like, you over time, you just learn not to just lash out at everything that comes at you. And, that's unfortunately, I think a lesson that a lot of people have to learn the hard way. It kind of just touching on the Twitter responses and, people firing back. I mean, it's just like, at some point you got to be on the fan side. You got to just look at yourself and be like, I'm 40 years old. Why am I tweeting at this 19-year-old on Twitter, like insulting him? And at the same time, you as, an NFL prospect and all this other stuff, you got to just look at it from the standpoint, is me responding to any of this or putting that opinion out forever for everybody to see worth it for me in the long run? And it's not. And so, I know we've talked about, there probably should be a social media ban. I 100% agree with that. I'm not saying like you can't get on it and look at it, but you don't need to be out there responding to everything just because that's going to do nothing but fuel a fire somewhere. And I think that's just a lesson that, everybody's going to have to eventually learn. But the kids that, I thought what Hutchison said after the game was incredibly powerful. Just to, because that he sees it as, look, I made this commitment. I'm going to see it through. I'm a leader on this team, and I need to be here for these guys to shape what comes next. And I think even the conversations that you've had with, Vic Hampton or DJ Swearinger, all those guys, that's the biggest, takeaway from everything that they said, was that there were leaders on that team that were going to help shape what this program should be and what it can be. And I think having guys in the locker room like Hutchison and like everybody that laid it all out on the field Saturday night is a gigantic step in the right direction.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It makes you proud to watch it because you want that legacy to live on beyond you.
Yeah, you want to be proud of your school. I mean, I speak, obviously I'm speaking for you and I mean all the former players. You want to be proud of your school. And again, Hutchison comments, those comments he made were awesome. I thought they were just truly, it was awesome. It was great to see.